It's very hot, so this is gonna be a fast one. I think I've talked about this before, and wow, it really sounds like I'm faking that to go along with the theme of this video, but I really don't remember what I said. And anyway, it's relevant again now. The topic of today's video is my horrible memory. Story time! This past Friday, I had a storytelling essay due in my religions class. For those of you wondering, I was writing this down on Wednesday night as I was writing the essay, and then I stopped and began working on it on Friday again, and I forgot where I was going with it. I swear this really isn't planned. So, Friday I had a storytelling essay due in religions class. Basically, they wanted us to recount a meaningful religious experience that has happened to us in our lives. Or happened with us, I suppose. I have plenty of those, because I grew up in a Jewish day school and I went to my synagogue regularly, and we celebrate all the Jewish holidays in my home, including the weekly Shabbat. And I went to Israel for both a month and a semester, although technically during the semester that I was there, months also happened, but a month was separate as well. Can I remember any of them though? No, of course not. Now, I always thought this was because of aphantasia, and maybe it is, I don't know. I bet you thought that was gonna end with me saying how it absolutely wasn't because of aphantasia for XYZ reasons. Well, it didn't. But for whatever reason, I have absolutely zero memory for detail. Like, I vaguely know what happened in my life and when. My roommate is back. I could probably give you a mostly accurate outline of my life, but it would be mostly factual and like a timeline that you might get in a very detailed and strangely me-centric history class. But I couldn't really tell you what I was thinking or feeling at any given time. I mean, obviously this isn't 100%. I do remember some things, especially when they're strong enough and recent enough, but for the most part, it doesn't happen. Now for how this came into play when writing my essay. I couldn't think of a single thing to write about. I know I've had plenty of sufficiently intense and meaningful religious experiences, as outlined earlier, but I couldn't think of a single one. It was just a blur of religiosity, of fluctuating intensity. So then I started asking family and friends, but of course no one else knows what was meaningful or intense or whatever for me in my life, and even if they did remember things that I had said, they wouldn't remember it in sufficient detail to tell a story about it. Stories need lots of details. At one point, I was sitting with my mom over text, well, not sitting, you know what I mean. She was basically listening every vaguely significantly religious experience I have ever had. It went something like this. When I'm wearing the glasses, I'm my mother. When I'm not wearing the glasses, I'm me. Services over the summer? Don't remember it. Chanting from the Torah in school? Nope. Your bat mitzvah? Not in the slightest. Rose's bat mitzvah? That was more recent. Still not. And so eventually I decided to look through this blog that I had to write for my Jewish history class while I was in Israel that semester. I knew we'd had to write about various experiences, including surely some religious ones. So I hoped one would be complete enough to use for this class, or at least to give me some ideas. After lots of scouring and reading my own posts that I didn't remember writing, including one in which I managed to work John Green into a post about Israeli Independence Day, I found something. It was a post about visiting the Western Wall and praying with a group called Women of the Wall. I'll put a link to their website and maybe a description of who they are in the video description. I had written so much on this post that I was able to use it almost in its entirety, just with some tweaking to make it look less like a blog and more like a college essay. That, my friends, is the story of why I now have a video blog. See you next week. Bye!